What is the best form of exercise for burning fat and
slowing down
the aging process? And why would vegans be better at it than people who still eat animals? Now, if you Google best workouts for burning fat, you're gonna see 3 results consistently popping up: high intensity interval training, resistance training, and cardio. And what I'm doing right now hits the bullseye on all 3, or as we vegans say, feeds 3 birds with 1 scone. It actually helps feed a 4th beautiful bird known as mental health, because doing hill runs involves being outside. And just being outdoors comes along with this long list of health benefits. So why are hill runs the best exercise for fat burning? Now, call me a giant science nerd, but I think if you understand the why, then what you need to do becomes a no-brainer, and it's a lot easier to be motivated to actually do it. And if the weather or circumstances don't allow you to do hill runs on a given day, what are some extremely useful alternatives to hill runs that can give you similar benefits? Why are vegans better at it than animal eaters? And how can you avoid getting injured in the process of trying to improve your health? So when I say hill runs are the best form of exercise for burning fat, I'm not just talking about results. I'm also talking about the amount of time it takes to get those results. Say you work out for half an hour on a given day and you burn X number of calories. Okay, cool, but what about the other 23 and a half hours of the day? We're all busy. Nobody ever has enough time for anything these days. If you want to maximize the effect that your exercise has on the rest of your day and the rest of your life, then you want to be thinking about and improving your metabolism, your resting metabolic rate, or RMR. Your RMR is basically the amount of calories you burn while sitting, sleeping, eating, cuddling your fur babies, everything you do other than exercising. And one of the best ways to improve your resting metabolic rate is through resistance training. So what the hell is resistance training, and what does fighting back against our future machine overlords have to do with burning fat? Resistance training basically just means anything that works your muscles. Could be lifting weights, could be lunges, could be squats, could be hill runs. Why is building muscle so important for burning fat? Now, the reason for that is also related to the reason that vegan brain food, or vegan brain and body boost specifically, helps you burn fat. It's not as if you sprinkle a little bit of that powder into your smoothie and voila, you're shedding the pounds. Well, actually, taurine, one of the amino acids that we can't get from plants, but that is in this vegan supplement, does increase your resting metabolic rate completely independent of exercise, but that's only going to have a marginal benefit. The main way this is going to assist you in fat burning is because all 3 amino acids help improve your exercise performance, your exercise potential. And notice that I said potential. This supplement is not going to make you stronger. If you take the supplement and don't do anything, nothing fitness-wise positive is going to happen. You're going to pee it out. There's no calories in it, so you're not going to gain calories. You are going to improve your brain function and your working intelligence, so that's cool. You are going to be slowing down the aging process because the antioxidant powers of these amino acids, so that's cool, but you're not going to be making any fitness and no significant fat burning benefits. But for the same reason that this supplement helps improve your brain function, which is because it helps your cells increase the production of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the cellular currency of energy, basically giving your brain cells more energy. Increasing the energy available to your muscle cells allows them, if you want to go harder and longer in the gym. If you do so and you grow your muscles, then you will improve your resting metabolic rate and you will be burning fat no matter what you do. Now, bear in mind, one of the results of doing all this is that you might actually gain weight. Wait, what the fuck? That defeats the whole purpose. Notice that I said gain weight, not gain fat. You're losing fat, you might gain weight. The reason for that is because muscle is denser than fat. Some people will say muscle is heavier than fat, but that can't possibly be true. Nothing is actually heavier than anything else technically. A pound of feathers is the same weight as a pound of a neutron star. A pound of feathers would be a relatively big bag, and a pound of a neutron star would be extremely microscopic. For those of you who aren't science nerds like me, neutron stars are one of the coolest fucking things in the universe. It's a collapsed dead star, and just a teaspoon of it weighs about as much as Mount Everest. If you dropped a teaspoon of a neutron star on Earth, it would fall straight through our planet, go past the core of the Earth with its own momentum, come back and settle in the core of the Earth, It is one of the most dense substances in the known universe. Go watch Cosmos, and when you're done, send Neil deGrasse Tyson my message about why Neil deGrasse Tyson needs to go vegan. And when you're done with that, send his friend Bill Nye my video message about why Bill Nye the Science Guy needs to go vegan. I digress. The point is, you can gain muscle, look leaner, lose fat, look more toned, and then get on a scale and it's actually a higher number and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? What's going on in a nutshell is that you've added dense muscle tissue and you've burned flabby, less dense fat tissue. The number that matters infinitely more than the weight on your scale is your body fat percentage, or BFP, because your body fat percentage has nothing to do with superficial external considerations. Your body fat percentage is of life and death importance for your internal health, and a high BFP is associated with this list of health issues, many of which can be fatal. Hill runs are a perfect way of accomplishing all of the things I just said because your leg muscles are the biggest muscles in your body. So if you're working on the biggest muscles, you're going to have the biggest benefit. Second of all, while not everyone in the world wants strong arms or chest muscles, everyone on planet Earth looks good with strong legs. And that's just a fact. We're sexual beings by nature, and there's no need to deny that. Yeah, people work out for our health, but we also work out to, try and look good for the opposite sex, the same sex, whoever it is you're into.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't know if you were born into a religion or a cult and you were told as a child that sex is evil, that masturbation is evil. No, it's a scientific fact. Consensual sex is healthy, it's good, it's awesome, it's good for you, it's good for your partner. To be an animal is to be sexual in our very nature, and that's absolutely nothing to be ashamed about. But back to fitness. When I said that hill runs were feeding 4 birds with 1 scone, that's because, while doing squats or lunges or leg presses in the gym, obviously it's going to work your leg muscles and have a lot of these same benefits. Running up and down hills is also cardio. It's also a perfect form of high intensity interval training. So what the hell is that? And why is it so awesome? High intensity interval training basically applies to a form of exercise where you're alternating between going at not exactly 100%, maybe 80, 90%, because you don't want to injure yourself. And when you're doing this form of exercise, you have to ease into it over a period of days and weeks to make sure you've stretched enough, you've warmed up enough, and your muscles are ready. Hill runs are a perfect example of high intensity interval training because when you're running up the hill, you're doing really strenuous activity. You're pushing yourself, especially if you're running relatively fast up the hill. When you're coming down, you're cooling down. So that's a typical example. Another one might be sprinting for 30 seconds or so, then just jogging for 60 or 90 seconds. Now there's different periods of time you're gonna look up. When I originally learned about this, it was 30 seconds as intense as you can go, 90 seconds of medium intensity, chilling, jogging, and then 30 seconds hard again. So if you do that 8 times, 30 seconds of intensity, 90 seconds of medium intensity, that's about a 2-minute rep, so to speak, doing this workout. Do that 8 times, that's 16 minutes. In 16 minutes, plus 2 minutes, say warm up, 2 minutes cool down, in 20 minutes, you can get an incredible workout. Why is this so beneficial? Because in addition to the muscular benefits, the cardiovascular benefits, doing high intensity interval training, for whatever reason, I'm not even sure if scientists fully understand this yet, but for whatever reason, doing high intensity interval training triggers the release of a large amount of human growth hormone. Human growth hormone is sometimes called the youth hormone because you have a lot of it when you're young. It helps you grow from a child into a grown person, and as you get older, you have less of it. So doing an exercise that makes you release human growth hormone, that makes you create it naturally. Some people will actually inject this, and I don't want to talk about that at all because, some people may have a medical need for that, a benefit. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to talk about that. But doing an exercise that naturally triggers the release of human growth hormone counteracts the aging process. Aging at the end of the day, it isn't just the turning of a clock. Different animals age at different biological speeds. As we all know, dogs don't live nearly long enough because the world is an unjust place. The universe was clearly not created by a nice person. Humans, including horrible dictators and horrible people, can live into their 70s, 80s, 90s. Tortoises, for whatever reason, live very long. There's different biological clocks that work, and there's different biological processes. One of those processes is your body creating less human growth hormone as you get older. So, you can't turn back the hands of time, but you can do this exercise that has that incredible benefit for your youth and your vitality. Listen, I'm not trying to push vegan brain food too hard. Yes, I would like to someday quit my day job and work for the animals full-time via this company. Yes, it does matter to me that this company is saving actual rainforests. We are protecting endangered species and rescued farm animals. But when you see anti-aging benefits of vegan brain food, that's because, like human growth hormone, you produce less creatine, less taurine, and less carnosine as you get older. So supplementing with them, again, biologically, is counteracting the aging process. That's why it's so important to differentiate chronological age from biological age. Your chronological age is what's on your passport, your birth certificate, your driver's license. That's a concrete number. But as we all know, two people who are the exact same age, not necessarily looking like they are the same age. That's your biological age. That's far more real. That's what's in your cells. That's what's happening to you internally. And of course, a plant-based diet is crucial for slowing down the aging process for reasons I'll get to in a moment. The one thing I want to mention to you with high intensity interval training is if you want to get the most out of this workout, then don't eat a large amount of carbs immediately after the workout. For whatever reason, if you do eat a large amount of carbohydrates, sugars, or carbs after this workout, you're going to stop that super beneficial release of human growth hormone. And that HGH is not just good against aging, it's good for burning fat. So if that's your goal, then try and schedule a high intensity interval training workout in between meals. So you've had a meal far enough back that your stomach's not full and you're not gonna throw up while working out. And you're not gonna be starving after the workout. You can have some water, almonds, or, a little bit of peanut butter, something like that if you're really hungry and you want to put off your meal. That stuff doesn't have a lot of carbs in it, but the best thing to do is to just schedule it in between meals. Drink a ton of water before, during, after the workout. For 24 hours, you're going to be getting a big boost of human growth hormone, but a lot of it is going to be coming in the first 2 hours after the workout. To not shut that down, avoid carbs immediately after the workout. And as far as alternative ways to do it, as I mentioned, sprinting is a classic way, going between sprinting and jogging. One of my favorite things is martial arts workouts. So you could do shadow boxing, you could do some kind of physical fitness training where you're visualizing somebody coming at you, attacking, you're blocking, you're responding to it, and alternating between that and, just low intensity, medium intensity stuff. One thing I like to do when it's dark outside and so I can't run up and down hills because I live in coyote country and I never ever go outside without my dog. Coyotes are not really a threat to me. They're not even a threat to my dog, but my dog is a threat to them. If they get into a fight, Lubu is about twice the size of a coyote, and if they got into an altercation, they could both get injured, but it could be really bad for the coyote. So I'll never do hill runs at nighttime, so sometimes when I'm too busy, what I like to do is go around my neighborhood, just running on the grass. Important to run on the grass and not concrete. Concrete fucks up your knees, fucks up your back. I'll basically do lunges. So I'm kind of walking down the street, but doing lunges as I move. And then after I do enough lunges that my legs are hurt, so I'm getting that benefit of building my leg muscles, I'll do a bunch of jumping jacks to get my heart rate up. So it's lunges, jumping jacks, lunges, jumping jacks. And then I'm really used to it now, so I can just kind of flip between those two. If after the jumping jacks you're running out of breath, then just jog a bit, walk a bit. Give yourself that little bit of cool down. For me, the lunges that's my cardio cool down, and the jumping jacks is my legs cool down. So I'm pretty much doing that the whole way through. You could build up that 30 seconds, 90 seconds. That's not set in stone. Okay, as your fitness increases, especially if you're vegan and you have higher stamina and endurance, you might be able to increase that and do 60 seconds intense, 60 seconds off, etc. Listen to your body. Don't push yourself so much that you get injured, but also, don't go too easy on yourself if you're capable of doing more. And speaking of body image, to be honest, I've been wanting to give you this information for quite a while. But I kept making excuses not to make this video because, first I wanted to get back into shape like I was a few months ago. I don't look like this now because I've been overeating, stress eating, because I've got way too much on my plate. pun intended, between my day job and trying to set up and run an animal rights dedicated company all by myself. But I figured I know a lot of people who work out and would probably want to know how to maximize the benefit from the time they spend working out. So let me tell you this in the meantime. And as I lose body fat myself, I'm keeping track of what works psychologically to stop myself from overeating, especially now that there's so many delicious vegan junk foods available. I feel like Homer Simpson 7 days a week. And once I see what works best, I'm gonna share that with you in an upcoming video. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to actually hit the bell button, because if you don't, you might actually never see one of my videos again. YouTube's not necessarily gonna show it to you unless you hit the bell. That means you'll get a notification when the next video drops. And I'm gonna be doing a lot more comedy, so make sure you stay in touch. Okay, so I explained why vegan foods are better for fat loss. But why do vegans have an advantage in terms of physical fitness? So if you've seen the Game Changers, you understand that the high antioxidant content of plant foods doesn't just slow down the aging process and help fight disease, it helps fight inflammation, which can improve your workout performance. It can make you heal quicker, work out more, have an advantage, break world records, win Olympic gold, etc. And we also have advantages in terms of energy storage in the form of glycogen. If you haven't seen the Game Changers, go fucking watch that right now. It's on Netflix. It's not just informative. It's not just something that could potentially save your life if you actually listen to the science in the film. It's actually really entertaining and really funny at times. You could watch that on a Friday night, Saturday night. Now, just because you could keep going on the field, and just because the antioxidants may reduce the chances of injury, doesn't mean you could be a fool. It doesn't mean you can avoid stretching, warming up, cooling down. Don't make the mistakes I did. I don't want to make this video longer, so if you want to learn about preventing injury, check this out. And speaking of keeping things short, I'm releasing this video before it gets too cold outside. So get out there, go outside, whether you're working out or not. Give your brain a break. I'm gonna go do the same and give my baby dog a walk. Live long and prosper in vegan power.